Now we're going to be flying our full display here for you this afternoon. The pilots are going to be pulling up to 10G in the cockpit as they perform the manoeuvres right in front of you. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to you the 2015 Blades Aerobatic display team. Now, the Blades are one of the only display teams that are permitted to enter an air show from behind the crowd. They've arrived in Manta formation here this afternoon. They're going over the top now for the Manta loop. Now, as the Blades fly away from us, they're moving the formation slightly. They're into card formation here. And as they fly away, they're pulling up into the vertical. 2 of the aircraft will perform stall turns, 2 of them will perform pushovers for the champagne fountain. Now, as they come back towards us, they're getting ready to fly a manoeuvre that was added to the display last year. The 2 aircraft in the middle of the formation are going to brake in front of one another, pulling 7G for the crossfire brake. Now you want to keep your eyes on Blades 2 and 3 on the far left and right hand side here. They're each performing a series of snap rolls. They're going to end up upside down and then they're going to position themselves to fly down the display line directly towards one another. Now this manoeuvre has a combined closing speed of well over 400 miles an hour. They're going to pull 7G as they break away from one another in the 1v1 cross. Now Blades 2 and 3 are going to complete their manoeuvre around the back. They're going to leave the way clear for Blades 1 and 4, who are running in from the left and right hand side. Blades 1 and 4 are each going to fly an aileron roll as they fly towards one another, and then they're going to pull up into the vertical for the pair's tail slide. So Blades 1 and 4 throttling back there, allowing the power to die as they fall out of that manoeuvre and fly away for the next part of the display. So taking centre stage here on the left is Blade 4, Andy Evans, our solo display pilot. Andy's ending up upside down, so he's flying an outside loop here. He's pushing -5G, so the blood rushing to his head, and he's now snap rolling his aircraft back down towards the airfield, straight into +G. Now Andy's going to get ready to put his aircraft into an upward going manoeuvre that is called the Lomchovac. And that is a Czechoslovakian word which translates to headache or hangover. And as you watch Andy perform the manoeuvre, I'm sure you will appreciate why it's been given that name. Now Andy's going to complete his solo display section here. He'll be back a bit later on to do some more display flying. But in the meantime, if you look to your left, we've got Blades 1, 2 and 3 who are running in formation from the left-hand side. They're going to demonstrate the roll capability of the extra in the Blades twinkle rolls. So the aircraft that the Blades fly is the Extra 300, and it is purpose-built for aerobatics. It has ailerons that span the entire length of the wing, and it gives the aircraft a roll capability of more than 420 degrees in less than a second. Now Andy Evans is rejoining the formation at the back there, putting the Blades into box formation. There's 12 feet from wingtip to wingtip here, and another little fact that you might not know about the team is that we actually hold the world record for flying the most number of consecutive formation loops. The Blades are going to show you what it looks like now to do that. We do this manoeuvre with our passengers, so you could be in the front seat, 12 feet away from your friends and family, flying a loop-the-loop with the Blades. Now the team leader is going to bend the formation as they reach the bottom there. They're going to bring the aircraft right round in front of us, showing off the underneath. This is the Aerobatic box bend. away from us, they're moving the formation pattern slightly once again. They're moving into line abreast formation. The team leader is the second blade that you can see from the left. He's looking forward, everybody else is looking left and right into his cockpit as they pull up into the vertical for our signature manoeuvre. This is the blades hammerhead. Now, we're the only display team in the world that flies that manoeuvre. They control the aircraft using the rudder pedals to stall towards each other at the top there. Now, this next manoeuvre of the display we dedicate to the brave few who fought in the Battle of Britain. From line and stern formation, this is the Spitfire roll. So leading the team this afternoon, we have Blade 1 Mark Cutmore, otherwise known as Cutty. In the Air Force, Cutty was a Jaguar pilot. He spent 3 years with the Red Arrows, and his last posting in the Royal Air Force was as the National Advisor to the Saudi Hawk display team. Cutty joined the Blades in 2008 and spent 4 years as the team's solo display pilot before taking over as leader back in 2012. This next manoeuvre that the Blades are going to perform is one of our most photographed manoeuvres. We get tons of pictures of this one throughout the display season. Got Blade 4 upside down. Everybody else is doing what we call putting in a boot full of rudder. They're going to hold that position, and that is how the Blades do crazy flying. Flying in the Blade 2 position this afternoon, we have Andy Offer. Andy is one of the directors of 2XL. He shares the Blade 2 position with Chris Carter. Chris is a Virgin pilot as well as flying with the Blades. In the Air Force, Andy was a Harrier pilot. He flew with the Red Arrows and actually led the Red Arrows for 2 years. And he formed the Blades and 2XL Aviation with Chris Norton back in 2006. Now, this next manoeuvre, the Blades are going to pull up at half-second intervals. This is the Snake. Now, as the Blades fly away from us, they're going to go over the top for this next manoeuvre. It has a 24-foot wingspan, the extra, and they're going to use all of that wingspan going over the top, using their smoke to create the whirlpool. The aircraft that the team fly, the Extra 300, is built out in Germany. It was designed by a former Aerobatic pilot, Walter Extra. He couldn't find an aircraft that had quite the capabilities that he was looking for, so he designed his own back in the 80s. And the aircraft that you can see today is modified greatly since the initial one that Walter designed, but it's fantastic fun to fly. We fly the 2-seater version to allow us to fly our passengers. The pilot actually sits in the back when they fly during a display. Now, we're going to be moving into the second half of the display now. There'll be some more pair work and some more solo display flying. But in the meantime, from the card formation, Cutty is going to call to split the team in two with the Blades fan brake. Now, Blades 2 and 3 are on the left and right hand side, pulling up into the vertical at the moment. They're going to perform the pairs launch-evac, that upward going spin manoeuvre that you see. And if you look into the distance, you'll see Blades 1 and 4. They're climbing into the sky. They're going to control the aircraft on the rudder pedals and actually stall the aircraft towards one another, crossing a few feet apart in the beak-to-beak cross. Now, the Extra is built so that it will fly exactly the same way upside down as it will when it is the right way round. And Blade 1 is showing off that for you now. He is upside down, flying inverted alongside his Blades teammate. Blade 1 is going to push negative G as Blade 4 pulls positive G into the vertical side by side, just a few feet apart. They're going to climb into the sky and then they're going to stall their aircraft away from each other in the mirror stall split. Now the next manoeuvre of the display is my favourite. It is truly incredible, using the gyroscopic properties of the propeller. They're actually going to throw the tail of the aircraft over the front of the engine, using that propeller as a gyroscope in the twin tumbles. Now, as blades 1 and 4 complete that manoeuvre, blades 2 and 3 are flying back towards us. They have their smoke on. Blade 2 is going to fly a quick barrel roll around Blade 3, and then they're going to break in front of one another, fly away at opposite ends of the display line. So flying in the Blade 3 position this afternoon, we have Miles Garland. Miles was a Harrier pilot in the Air Force. He spent 3 years with the Red Arrows, and during his time with the Reds, he flew as leader of the synchro pair. Miles is the only member of the Blades that's flown in all 4 positions as Blade 1, 2, 3 and 4. He's one of the founding team members, started as our solo display pilot before taking over as leader and moving back to the wingman position in 2012. Now all of the Blades display pilots are former Red Arrows, but the team that we have up there today, actually between them, have covered all 9 positions in the Red Arrows during their time in the Air Force. Now we have Blades 1 and 4 back with us for a bit more action. They're going to climb into the sky. They're going to put the aircraft onto its side, and then using a combination of controlled stick input and rudder pedal manoeuvres, they're going to flick the tail round as they make their way down towards the airfield in synchronization in the double knife edge dive. Our solo display pilot. Andy is another founding team member of the Blades. He was a Jaguar pilot in the Air Force, and he spent 4 years with the Red Arrows as he was chosen as the first pilot to manage the team as Red 10. Now Andy's putting his aircraft through the centrifuge here, so a lot of positive G. He's then going to control it on the rudder pedals as he knife slides back down towards the airfield. Now Andy has a slightly more powerful version of the Extra. He flies the Extra 330. And showing off that power for you now, he's going to get almost as close as you can to almost hovering the aircraft. He's going to allow it to lose all of its speed. He'll put a bit of smoke on, and he's actually going to drop backwards through his smoke trail before letting the weight of the engine at the front of that aeroplane pull him out of the dive. Now, as he completes that manoeuvre, Andy is on the lookout and will have already spotted his Blades teammates. Got Blades 1, 2 and 3 flying back towards us. Andy's going to fly directly towards all 3 of them, pulling up underneath Blade 1 smoke for the goose manoeuvre, as Blades 2 and 3 simultaneously barrel roll around Blade 1 smoke for the Gatling. Andy's going to be flying over to rejoin his Blades teammates. We have just one manoeuvre left of the display, but I hope you've enjoyed watching the display so far, and I hope you enjoy our final manoeuvre. Don't forget to enter our photo competition if you've got some good pictures of the Blades from Cosford here today. Facebook is the Blades Aerobatic team, and Twitter is @TheBladesTeam. If you'd like to find out about any of our partners, then please visit our website, theblades.com, visit our partners page. You can find out all about the RAF Benevolent Fund and the work they do, and you can find out about Lee Cables, who've been here supporting the air show, supporting the Blades today. Now this last manoeuvre there is 10G in every single cockpit. They're going to break in front of one another. This is the Blades break. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 2015 Blades Aerobatic display team, the launch of our 10th anniversary display season. Thank you very much for watching and being a part of our milestone year. We hope you had a fantastic time watching. If you'd like to keep in touch with the team, then we would love to hear from you throughout the summer as we continue our season. Please enjoy the rest of the day, and we hope to see you soon.